Deb Olin Unferth, and I am a creative writing professor.
We meant to talk about your book that came out about a project in, and I wanted to ask you how to pronounce the location, the institution that's on the title.
Oh, Connolly, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Connolly.
And that is a part of a prison?
It's so the prisons in Texas are all at different locations, and they each have their own names. They're called blank unit. So this is the Connolly unit. I used to teach at a maximum security prison in Connecticut through the Center for Prison Education, which is attached to Wesleyan University, which is where I used to teach. And then when I came here, I really wanted to continue that because I really liked it a lot. And so I came here and I thought I would teach in the prison program, but it turns out that there wasn't a prison program. I met with an activist who used to be an inmate, and now he does various kinds of initiatives for people who are leaving prison or are currently in prison. And he told me, because I was like, I think I'll just go to the local jail and do a workshop. And he said, don't go to the Austin jail because they're so overserved. They've got so many workshops and so much programming. And he said, why don't you go to one that's way out in the middle of nowhere that no one goes to, like a maximum security prison. Well, my dad got very involved in prison advocacy years and years ago, a long time ago, and I was already not living at home at that point, and so I kind of missed out on it all, but I was always really interested, so when I would come home, he would talk about it. And then my mom and my brother also got pretty involved, so everybody was sort of pretty involved except for me, and I always kind of felt bad about that. And then when I had the opportunity, when I got the job at Wesleyan, when I got the offer, I was looking around on the website to try to decide if I wanted to take the job because I already had a job that I really liked, and they had this great prison program, and that was a real plus. I was very excited. It's just, I guess, I really believe in the power of education to change lives. So I feel like writing and reading, it teaches you empathy, it helps you learn how to think, it just, you can use it in anything you do, no matter who you are, no matter what you wind up doing with your life. I mean, if you can read and write, you will advance. And I feel also like what they say is important. I mean, I think that the prison system is a mess in this country, and I think that valuable, precious lives are being just thrown away in prison, and I think they have a lot to say. And so for that reason, I really want to try to do whatever I can. Yeah, I give them exercises that they have to do, and they do a lot of exercises, and they do longer pieces. So I do things like describe the light in a room, any room you've actually been in, I gave them one exercise that was important instructions, and then they had to just go from there. And some of the short ones, it's good because they just come up with really amazing things. One of them was write a story about leaving, I think. And so I think it's the second story in there. So he wrote about leaving, being in an old police car and leaving the courtroom after having just gotten his sentence, which was some insane sentence, like 50 years or something. And so just leaving his town for the last time, and watching out the window and knowing he'll never see any of this again because he was already old enough that he's not gonna probably make it out.